Well, welcome everyone to the Harmonica UK Saturday sessions. This is our first one, as you know. We're super proud that we're bringing them back again. And it's a little something for our members only. And boy, have we got some fantastic artists coming up for you guys over the next sort of year, a little bit further. And if it's successful, then Dave and I will carry on hosting them. And you guys are more than welcome to put in any requests to News Desk as to who you'd really like to see, and we'll grab them in and put them through it. That's what I say. Yeah. A couple of little house rules. If everyone can mute while Aidan's speaking, please, just to give him the chance to, you know, play without any interruption, and so we can all hear him. So when Aidan's talking, if we can all mute. I can't think of any other house rules with this one. No, so Aidan, the lovely Aidan. Here he is. Thank you for coming. You're our first one. How does it feel?
I'm very happy. I'm always happy to do these Zoom sessions for you guys, and it's great to be here. I also like the way you commanded the room, as it were, saying everybody mute. I wish I could do that in my house and just tell everyone mute.
Just switch everyone off.
Yeah. Just like a Saturday button. One of these.
Aidan, have you ever tried shutting the door? Because I find that works really well.
Yes.
Just shut the door or cupboard. That's quite good as well.
Yeah, I always say our drummer can't get back into his house when he locks the door because he has no knowledge of keys and never knows when to come in.
Oh, well, we're super proud that you're our first one. Yeah. And thank you so much for coming. You're a good friend, and you know you're a nice guy. So and also a phenomenal harmonica player. So we're all yours. It's over to you.
Yeah, I want this in writing.
We've got 33 in the house so far, Aidan. So I think we're about ready to go.
Aidan.
Wow, a good number.
Welcome everyone. Welcome.
Brilliant. Okay, right. Do you all have a harmonica with you?
Yeah.
I use for most Cajun music, I tend to use a key of C. You know, I've got a rocket around here, and I've got a golden melody in my hand, but they're in the key of C. You'll find that that's all you really need to play traditional Cajun music. Is one harmonica. I use the 10-hole one, the diatonic harmonica. And really, when you play one of these, it's taking the place of either a fiddle or a Cajun accordion. Now, I've brought a Cajun accordion with me. I'm just going to lean over and get it, just so you know what this is. This thing here is a Martin accordion, which is built in Lafayette, well, Scott, which is part of Lafayette in Louisiana. And you can see it's a sort of an accordion, but instead of keys on it, these are paddles, these things that look like keys, but they got buttons on them. And I've got 11 buttons. I'm just running it by the camera so you can see it. On one side, I've got a bass and chord rig, which has got 2 notes on the bass, C and G, and then chords of C and G down here. Yeah, play that with 2 fingers. And then these ones, I can do chords or melody on the other side. Nice Cajun crawfish. A lot of people go, I like your scorpion on the front of the... Is it crawfish, not scorpion, see? Which is, you know, showing it's a Martin accordion. So I'm just going to chuck it around my shoulder with a strap, and I'll just give you a little... sort of thing, yeah? You've heard that sort of Cajun music? Zydeco Creole sort of thing from Louisiana. So, on a regular 10-hole diatonic harmonica, you can sort of get this sort of effect. If you play you know the holes as oh, is that Richard Taylor? Don't let him in. Don't let Rich in. Just tell him to get lost. See him there. So
hello, Richard.
Don't let him in. Close the internet. Close the internet. Don't let him on. So you've got your 10 holes. You can play the tune. You can play chordally. You can tongue block. So you can do a mixture of actually playing the single notes and the chords and tongue blocking. And you can also get an effect where you can impersonate the bass and chord rig as well. Is somebody talking to me there? Is that Richard? I'm sure I heard somebody. Maybe it's the dog behind you, Susie. I can hear somebody. So yeah, you can get a sort of a bit like the sort of the train thing that you hear when people do the blues, you know. So I'm just gonna get something for you to all have a little go at. And again, my face is frozen. I don't normally look like this. I'm sure it'll come back in a minute. I'm going to attempt to share the screen so you don't have to look at my frozen face. Oh, it's back again. And I'll just do a very simple, straightforward one. So let me share the screen with you. I shan't be a minute. Do this. Right, there we go. Now, this, can you all see it? Nod if you can see it, or give us a thumbs up. Yeah? Okay, I hope you can see that. Yeah, that's good. This is Jambalaya. Jambalaya is actually based on a jambalaya. They tend to call it jambalaya. It's based on a very old Cajun tune called Grand Texas, which means Big Texas. Yeah. So it's virtually the same tune, apart from they don't do the middle eight, which is the sort of change. They don't do that, and everything seems to be on the same sort of chord. So I'm gonna grab a guitar. I hope that doesn't bother anybody. Luckily, it's not a banjo. What? Don't tell Martin Blake I said that, for goodness sake. Right, so I'm just going to grab a guitar. I'll just come over here. So if I grab a guitar there. That sort of thing, yeah? Do you want? Thank you, fans. Thank you, fans. Would you like to have a little go at this? Yeah, yes, it's the correct answer, right? Okay. So, the best way I believe of learning how to play this is to do the single notes, and I'm going to explain my tab to you. I've always done it like this, whereas I do the small numbers as the blow, right? So, and the big numbers as the breathe in. And what I've done is I've done the big numbers in red. So if you think of the town of Reading, right? Red in, as in breathe in. Does that make sense? Nod. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to play this as single notes. And I think this is the good thing, because if you can do it as single notes, then you can get a feeling of it. So I'm going to do this now. So I don't get sort of put off by hearing you as well, because there is going to be a time delay of about half a second, which is just enough to make me fall off the log. I wonder if you'd be kind enough to mute yourself. I know you're still there, but I'll play it for you in a simple way, and then I'll show you what I might do with it to make it a bit more decorative. You know, add some ornamentation to it. You know. So here we go. Just gonna use this harmonica. So. Right, before I show you what I might do with that, and that was, again, it's really simple with no little bits added to it. You just have a little go at that and see if you can get, you all know this tune, don't you? Give us a wave if you know it. Do you know it? Just so I know, yeah. Have a little go on your own, and whoever it is that I can hear, if they kindly mute themselves, that'd be grand. Thank you.
Tony Perry needs to mute himself.
No, sorry.
I love you dearly, but shut up. Thank you. Only kidding. Only kidding. Right. So I'll play it to you, and we'll do a tennis match here. I'll lob it to you, and you can lob it back to me. So we'll give that a go. Okay, here we go. Just try and do that in in your own way for a minute. And then after you've had a few goes at it to get yourself comfortable with my form of tab, I used to use
Just muted it.
yeah, I used to use the chicken scratch, the sort of arrows. But I've often used this one with the colours, so it seems to work for me and a lot of people. So give
I
me
can't hear you. Yes.
Could
Also, I
everybody
am.
mute, please?
yeah. You tell them, Susie.
Yeah.
I will.
If,
You
if
tell 'em.
anyone's who's the host, they can mute everybody. With an
Oh,
Alt M, mute
It's
everybody.
Dave, Louise.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're able to do that, Dave.
Right. I wonder if I can do it because I'm a
Yeah,
co-host.
I've muted Gary now, but if I mute everyone, I'm going to mute Aidan as well.
It's
Yeah.
also
And me.
Probably a
it's
good
also
idea.
Tony Perry.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go through the list in a minute. Don't worry.
He's the one officer. Right, my screen keeps freezing. I don't know why, but there you go. Such as right. So, let me just show you what might be done on this. If we look at, you can see my cursor moving, I guess. If we look at Goodbye Joe, me gotta go. What if I doubled up on this gotta thing? What if I did this? So that adds a little bit of rhythm. Yeah. So. Yeah. I'm doing this with one hand because I'm using, normally I'd use two hands, but I'm using a cursor as well. So, that's a little example. What if I added a bit of chordal stuff and a few sort of little, a bit of hand vibrato, that sort of thing. Or, yeah. So, what I'm doing now, oh, by the way, I ought to tell you, my dad taught me how to play harmonica when I was very small, and my two brothers as well. So he gave us all a few little lessons, and then we all liked it, so we kept playing. So that was quite good. And my granddad, though I never knew him, he sort of passed away before I was born, but he was pretty good as well, so I've been told. So we sort of passed that through the family, and we didn't get any tab, we just copied him. So if you don't read tab, you can copy me. So that's good. So from a simple point of view, you can be inventive with it. Add a few chords, add a bit of a rhythm, And then what you'll find is you're doing what the bass and chord rig on the left hand is doing on the squeeze box. So it's starting to sound more like a squeeze box, yeah? Another thing about this little tune is patterns are your friend. And if you actually look where I'm showing you, there's some patterns running through this. So in actuality, when you see a sea of numbers, in reality, it's just a few different patterns to learn. So you can get around this, yeah? Okay. I'm gonna play the tune, and now because you're muted, you can play along with me. And I'm gonna use my guitar, so I'll be your band, all right? And abandon hope, yeah. Not really. So if I am your guitar, you'll get a good tempo. I use my foot and I keep time. It's 4/4, 4 beats to the bar. So I'll count you in, and I'm not gonna do it quick. I mean, this tune is not a fast tune anyway. Cajun music is for dancing to, and if it's too fast, it's quite hard to do. But have a listen to this. If we go. Now, the reason why it's given an illusion of speed is because I'm doing little tongue taps, sort of the version of what I would do on a guitar if I was hammering on. I'm tapping my tongue on the comb, yeah? My tongue is never too far away from the comb, because I play like Welsh folk music, Irish folk music, Cajun folk music, as well as blues and stuff. and I tend to keep my tongue fairly near the comb so I can like tap and make little rhythmic type things on there, you know. So I'm going to count in to 4, and then you do your best to try and keep up with me. Now, I'm going to go slower than I ordinarily would to give you a chance. And always remember, if you need to stop, just stop, you know. It's not a race or anything. Because if you're running out of air, you'll feel stressed. And I don't want anyone to be stressed. I just want you to have a nice time, all right? So I'll do this quite slowly. Are you ready? Give us a thumbs up if you're ready. Go on. There you go. By the way, thumbs up isn't this, right? Don't do that, for God's sake, right? You know, they're not your thumbs, these 2 fingers, right? Okay. So, right, so let's see if I can do this. 1, I'm going to go after 3, actually. 1. It's very hard to play when I'm laughing. 1, 2, 3. Now, was that too... I know it's not the real speed, but was that a bit too fast? Shall I slow it down a little bit more? Shall I? I'm gonna do that. Because at the moment, you all look like goldfish. You're all doing this.
I think you can go a bit faster for a maiden, obviously.
Yeah, do you want me to... I'm not doing that, right? Okay. Oh, right, so I'll slow it down a little more. After 3. 1, 2, 3. Again. One more time for good luck. Now, the last time I did it, I demonstrated a typical, thank you, merci, merci. I did a typical Cajun ending. Let me explain to you. I've been to Louisiana, and basically I don't like to dance. I love to play. I play many instruments. I play over 30 actually, but not all at the same time. I am not an octopus, right? But I can play over 30 instruments fairly reasonably well. But I hate to dance. If I start dancing, everyone's going to leave. I'm going to ruin the night, right? So when I went to Louisiana, I was being constantly asked, will you dance with me? And me and Martin Blake were both the same. We were hiding. We were like almost underneath the table trying to get away from people asking us to dance. But I would love to play, you know? So I like to play for dancers, and it looks wonderful when everybody's dancing. It really does add to the atmosphere. Whiskey River, which is the band I play in, or Risky Liver, as we ought to be, you know, named really. A drink that some of us drink, but not me, of course, not me. But yeah, we played at Gloucester Cajun and Zydeco Festival in January, and the place was just full of whirling dancers. It looked fantastic, you know. That's the sort of gig that you really want. So yeah, so basically this is dance music, and it's got a real solid sort of backbeat, you know. Normally it would be played a lot faster. We're just giving it a little go now to see if you can, you know, follow my tab and things. But in reality, you know, once you get the way of this, you'd be able to play it by ear. You know, this is just so you can, you know, take it away. And actually, if you want to screenshot this, because I know you can do that. And what I will also do, I'll send this to Dave and Susie as well, and you can share it with any of the people that have been on. Is that all right? That's okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but you can screenshot this stuff. You know, let me just make this a wee bit bigger. Now, on here as well, I've added a little few bluesy things, and I want to just scroll up to that. When I do a scoop, I put a comma in front of the number, and it's a 3. It's a draw, 3 draw with a scoop. So that scoop is into the actual 3 draw. So it's, I know you can see my cursor, it's here, yeah, so. Right. You could do it this way as well, because you're on there, so. You can do it either way. Now it does sound rather strange when it's slowed down, but if you've got this thing here, and you stick it where the end number is, watch this. Yeah, so it's starting to sound a bit more like swamp music now to me. Why do they call it swamp music? You're on the Mississippi Delta if you're in Cajun country, and I remember going on a couple of boat trips out there on the Atchafalaya Basin, you know, around Henderson Swamp and McGee's Landing, all those places, and playing on boats. So it's the sort of music that's played around swamp. You get swamp blues, like people like Slim Harpo, who's brilliant. That sort of stuff, you know. And then you get sort of swampy Creole, the Zydeco and Cajun music. So I think, you know, it sounds a bit like country music to me, or folk music, unless you put in a few little bluesy runs that make it sound a bit more like swampy. So now what I did there as well is I sort of vocalized over it, chugged it a bit on Me Gotta Go Pole My P. What's a Piro? A Piro is a hollowed out log that they use as a sort of a makeshift boat. Some of these funny old words. And a bayou is an oxbow lake, if you want to know. Or it's either pronounced bayou or bayou, depending who's saying it. Or bayou as well, sometimes with the accent on the second syllable. So there's all like little references like crawfish pie, Philly gumbo's a stew, and what else is on there? Yeah, catfish. That's what they eat down there. Good stuff. So right, so we've got a little bluesy ending on the first line. We've got a little bluesy ending on the third line, and then on the second of lines you can chug da 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 da, that sort of thing, you know. So yeah, so we can add a little bluesy thing, and the blues phrasing is a 3 scoop. So you scoop, that's one note, yeah, scooping on the 3 into the 3 draw, then you bend it down a full tone, and then you blow once and you get 3 notes. That's expeditious. Do that 3 2 3. You just move, you know, 3 and 2 next to each other, so you just rock it backwards and forwards between 3 2 and 3. So, or, sorry, that's quite hard to do when it's on a brace and slowed down, but, right, so if I do that on the first line, and instead of the last 4, you do that little riff. There you go, got it now. So. Did you hear that I did a tongue block there? Now it's starting to sound like something that's not, you know. It doesn't sound like that anymore, does it? Suddenly it sounds like you're down deep and dirty in the swamp, you know. So that's what it sounds like, you know. So, so. Sounding more like Cajun music all the time. I know they could dance to that. I've been many dance clubs, and they have lots of Cajun dance clubs over here, by the way. So yeah, if you ever get a chance, if you like to dance, unlike me, I can't stand it, but if you like to, I do like to watch and see the dancers, you know. But if you like dancing, there'll be one somewhere near you. Okay, right. So let's just go to where I've got this bit down here. So oh yeah, if you know you don't feel prepared to take on every little note, you can do a bit of a cheat version. So if you see where my cursor is there, if you could say this, dee diddly, that's Bo Diddley's brother, by the way, right? Dee diddly, dee diddly, dee diddly, dee diddly, and then breathe in on da da. Watch this. And then reverse that, yeah? So the first bits are breathing in. So you could do this, right? 2, 3, 4. Now that would be a great way of just getting the rhythm right on this. And if you had, like, you know, Dave and Susie, you know, for example, if you've got a buddy that plays the harmonica, one of them could do that and the other could play the tune. So you could back each other up, and it's nice to have a buddy at anything. I wish I had friends. What's it like? No, I have got some friends. Somebody likes me.
Yeah, but he's my husband, Aidan. That's different.
All right. Oh, yeah, well, yeah. I won't go there. When does the fight start? Right. So,
give it a minute.
Give it a minute. So you could do a buddy thing on this. You could have one person doing the dee diddly dee diddly dee diddly dee diddly that, and the other one playing the tune. So that's a possibility. You've got the little blues things that I've told you about, and then you've also got the chugging as well. And basically you just get expressive on this, yeah. So I'm gonna just play it, and I'll play the you know, sort of a vamped up version of what you see there, and then I'll do the dee diddly dee diddly dee diddly bit, and you can play it any way you like. Is that all right? If it's not all right, I don't care. That's what we're doing. So we'll give it a go. We'll give it a go, right? Okay. So I'll count you in, and I won't go too fast. Honestly, I shan't. Normally, you know, it's faster, but we'll do it a bit slower. So 1 after 3. 1, 2, 3. And again. Now I'll do that dee diddly thing. Here we go. rest. One, two. 2-beat rest. Back to the main thing. And then more D-diddlies. I'm improvising a bit, but so can you. I'm gonna come to the end. Are you all right? You haven't all run away, have you? Keep there, right? Now I'm going to show you a little bit about a Cajun ending, right? Okay. So a Cajun ending, if you actually say on you know, you could play a C chord anywhere on a C diatonic harmonica, but I'm suggesting maybe 2, 3, and 4, something like that. If you say ta-da, ta-da, ta, ta, yeah, ta-da, ta, so you can do it without the harmonica, yeah, ta-da, ta-da, ta, ta. So you got a little pause, a little rest, you know. So ta-da, ta-da, ta, ta. So, and you could little shake of your head if you're wearing one of these, or just a little bit of hand vibrato, throat vibrato. We're all good at that, you know. We can do that. So. And that's the cue to the dancers to stop dancing and stop asking me to dance, because I'm just going to run away, you know. So let's all try that. I'll do it to you, and you can throw it back to me over the tennis net. So I'll do it to you. Throw it back. That's good. We'll do it again. Throw it back to me. There you go. Okay, that's good. Right, we're going to do some ear training next, okay? Cajun music, it's just got, they use this, when I play the box, I do this sort of nonsense, right? So I'm never playing a single note, hardly ever. I'm always using 3 fingers, at least, sometimes 4. And sometimes what I'll do is, I won't play the middle keys. I'll play the ones either side, or maybe the first and the third finger. So what I'm doing is I'm splitting the chords, and you do that with your tongue on one of these, right? So you might have heard things that do this sort of thing, you know. They use that a lot in Creole music, Zydeco music, Cajun music, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that. Is that okay? Yeah, I'll just talk to you about how to do that. In Cajun music, they often call it an octave split. Some people get a bit confused by that, because I'll just stop the share for a minute. I don't need to share this anymore, so there you go. Some people call it octave splits, but it's not always an octave that you're splitting. It's just splitting a chord, really, you know. So I'm just going to find something for you. Right, okay, I'll share this with you now. Hold me a tick. How do I do that? Right, okay, share the screen. Sorry, talking to myself, but there you go. Share. Let's see if you can see that. I hope you can see the right one. Yeah, that'll be okay. Let's just close this down a wee bit. Move that down a tick. Right, okay. I'll play you a little bluesy style Zydeco split groovy thing in the style of John Delafose. So if I look at this, so 3-door. Oh, let's get this. Put the guitar down while I'm doing this. Oh, stay there, Mr. Guitar. There we go. Okay. Right, grab this. So let's see what this sounds like. Right, okay, that was deadly slow. It'd never be played that slow in real life, but I'm just going through this slowly. So, 3 blow. That's it. Now this is just a single note version. In a minute we're going to split this up, yeah, and make it sound a bit more authentic, yeah. So I'll play it. Just moving this cursor around. I'm going to play it single note version, yeah. You can hear it's starting to change a little bit now, isn't it? So, okay, right. Use your tongue. If you play a chord on the draw between 4 and 7, and as best as you can, stick your tongue so it blocks off 5 and 6. Yeah. If you play the chord on the draw between 4 and 7, and then stick your tongue in it. There's a bit of a trick to this because so many people, they're not used to tongue blocking. Tongue blocking is in loads of blues as well. But what you do is you tongue block and you also tap your tongue as well. So where my cursor is, where it says now how about this, and then you blow there, and then you blow there. Now that sounds very, very Zydeco, right? Okay. Yeah. So. Now I can't help myself. I'm starting to put a few little shakes and vibratos and things in there because it sounds good, yeah? And then on the second line, half of it's the same as the line above. So instead of that bit, you blow that bit. And again, you have to make your tongue small to enable you to do that. But you don't have to like shove your tongue into the hole of the harmonic. You just block it a little bit. That's how you do that. Right, what? So that bit there I will also send out to Susan and Dave and they can share that. But if I was playing this for real, like, you know, yeah, and it's got that sort of Creole feel on that. So you're splitting the chords, yeah. Now that takes a little bit of practice to do stuff like that, but you know, I will get these sent over and then you can have them and you can get them shared out, but it does take just a little bit of practice to do. Now I'll stop that share. There's one more thing I wanted to share with you, if I can find it. Let's just shut this down for a minute there to get a bit more on the screen. Now I'm hoping this will work. I've got a video that I wanted to show you of a guy called Isom Fontenot, who was a really, really good harmonica player from Louisiana. He's been dead for an awful long time, but he was really, really good. He's not using a C harmonica. I think he might be using a G harmonica, playing in D probably. But you can have a little listen. I'll see if we can do this. So let's try and share the screen and share the sound. Right. Okay. Let's see if this works. Monsieur Le Fontenot. Let's get this out of the way. Right, let's see if this will play for you all. This is a nice little song called Socrapo, which means jump frog.
Ça qui appelle saut de crapaud.
Oui.
C'est ça?
Oui.
Il n'y a pas des paroles qu'il y a avec ça? Je chantais pas quelque chose là-dessus?
Je les connais plus trop bien.
There you go, a little bit of Cajun French for you as well. It's good, isn't it? So basically, I based a lot of the way I play on that sort of stuff. So if you go to YouTube and you just put in Isom Fontenot, which is spelled I-S-O-M, that's his name, Isom. It looks like Isom, but it's Isom, I-S-O-M. And then Fontenot, but it's pronounced Fontenot. So Fontaine, O-T, Fontenot, but it's Fontenot, yeah? If you look him up, not only is this video on there, but there's also home recordings that his family made of him playing in the house. So you can learn absolutely tons and tons of songs from this guy. He's brilliant. The other thing you can do on YouTube, and a lot of people aren't aware of it. I'll just stop sharing for a minute. Hold on. Stop share. So I don't need to do that anymore. So stop that. Have I unshared now? Have I unshared it? Can you see my face anymore?
It's just said it's showing you a video now. I don't think.
Yeah. Is it still the video on there? Right, okay. Let's see if I can do that. So stop share. Don't know where stop share is on it. Maybe it's okay. So yeah, if you go there, you can hear loads and loads of recordings by that guy, and just learn them. And they're very, very, very good recordings. Also, hold on a minute. Let's see. Stop share. I'm hoping the share is now stopped. I'm hoping it is. Right, I've got some books for you all that you can see. This one is really, really good. And it's got in there loads of information about like the best Creole, Zydeco, and Cajun bands. I'm just gonna see if I can just show you some bits of it. Yeah, so it's got everything in there, and this one is by a guy called Barry Jean Ancelet. So that's well worth getting that book. That's brilliant. And if you read music, this one is brilliant. Okay, and it's got all the dots in here, which is really good. Got everything you want to learn Cajun music. This is good as well. Okay. And it's called Yaya Shah. There you go, it's a great book. And then the other one, and this is the best one as far as I'm concerned, because it's got the history of everything, and it's got all the dots, and it's called Cajun Music, a Reflection of the People, and there is a volume 2 that came out last year as well, which I haven't got yet, and that's by Anne Savoy. There you go, Anne-Hélène Savoy, which is Marc Savoy's wife. I know it says Savoy, but it's pronounced Savoy. And that's a cracking good book, because not only has it got all the dots in there like that.
I'll just point out, Aidan, that this video, this is being recorded, this session, and it will be available in the members section if people want to check back for for titles and words and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I knew that it's been recorded. And what I've done is I've put the names of the books and everything right there, so you can see what they are. But they're really good. And this one, I've actually played at their shop in Eunice in Louisiana. The woman who owns it and her husband and the whole family are brilliant musicians. So I've actually played with them in Eunice, Louisiana, and I really highly recommend this because it's wonderful. And not only does it give you the music, it also gives you the history, and they've got interviews and everything in it. So it's really good. So I guess I'm sort of coming to the end of my time now, aren't I? Really? It's sort of...
Yeah, I think are you okay if we throw it up to Q&A now? And we would love as well if perhaps you could give us a tune before we go to the Q&As. Would you play something for us?
I will. No problem.
Thank you.
Let's just put this back on me head. Put this brace on. Okay, let's do this.
The information, Aidan, send it to News Desk and I'll get it put in the members' lounge. Anything at all, just write it down. I'll get it put up for you.
I will do that, and I will do that after this session. So
brilliant, thank you.
No problemo.
Yeah.
So right, watch this. I'll play you a nice little tune. Passais devant ta porte, j'ai crié Baba, ma belle. Personne n'est pas répondu. Oh, il y a mon cœur fait mal.
Well done, Aidan. My favourite.
Bravo!
I know you like that. I did that especially for you, Dave.
Yeah.
My voice is a bit tired from last night because we were, as I said, I didn't get up until 2 in the morning.
I think we're going to throw it over to questions and answers now, if that's okay, Aidan.
Yeah.
How do you want to do this? Do you want them to put a digital hand up and you pick someone, or just to unmute themselves and go for it?
Yeah, just unmute and ask.
Okay, guys. There you go. The man's there.
Attack! So attack me.
We're not paying him that much, Suze.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, guys, you got any questions? Then feel free.
Don't ask me what my favourite colour is. I don't know.
I think, Johnny, you've got your hand up. Is there a question you'd like to ask? Unmute yourself and crack away.
Yeah, hi, great show. I had a question regarding using like an octave harmonica instead. I've been trying Zydeco music, Cajun music.
Yeah.
Zydeco concerto, and a lot of it, like that 2 tones that you get from an octave, kind of suits it well, if you ask me. So I just didn't know if you had an opinion on that as well.
Yeah, I do. I agree with you. I mean, I tend to use these because I've always played these really. But I do use, I think it's called an auto valve as well on occasions.
Yep.
And they sound like an accordion, because you saw my accordion earlier, didn't you? You heard it. So, I mean, when we played last night, some fella had never heard one before, and he's going, man, that thing sounds like an orchestra, you know, because it does got so many reeds in it. And the auto valve gives that effect, it gives it a bigger tone. But I find that for me personally, I find I can bend this a little better than I can with the double row. So sometimes I'll use it. I've got what do you call it? A trumpet call, which is basically an auto valve with a trumpet sticking out of it. So occasionally I'll use that one. But I just find this is easier for me to get the things that I really want to. So I hope that answers your question. But yeah, they sound pretty cool. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's all
Great
right.
stuff. Just going to take this opportunity before the next question comes up, just to remind people that these sessions are going to be bi-monthly. They're going to be every other month. I think our next one is due on the 22nd of April, and it's going to be a chromatic lesson led by Sam Spranger.
Great.
And I believe it's a breakdown of the jazz standard Dream a Little Dream. So
Beautiful.
that's one to look forward to. And also we've got our open mic next Saturday as well, and that's open to everybody. So please attend that one. Okay, any more questions for Aidan?
Kevin was waving at me.
Yeah, Kevin, go for it.
I'll wave back.
Hello.
Hello, you all right?
Yeah. Hopefully, I'm going to ask a question that will be the answer will be useful to other people as well.
Yes.
First of all, I notice that on your squeeze box, so presumably for all of Cajun music, are we just doing the 1 and the 5 chords?
What it is, I do the other as well, but I form that on my right hand.
Right.
So I actually make the chords because I'm a bit unusual for Cajun accordion players, that I play in more keys than G and C. I'll play
So
in
is it mainly G and C that they
loads,
play in?
loads, but I can also play an E minor on it, A minor, D minor. I do other ones as well. Sort of using pentatonic scales, and also because we got a bass and a guitarist as well, some of the things that I can't do they can do, but I can get notes from the scale that will match it, if you know what I'm saying. So for example, if I was playing in D minor, I wouldn't use every now and then I'd use the bass and chord side, but often you've got to, because you've got a bellows instead of your lungs, there's an air button on it, so you can use that. And of course, not of course, but I'll explain. When you play the right hand side, the melody, and you can play chords and melody, like I explained with splitting them and all that. The air comes out of it anyway. You can get air in and out because that side's working. So you use the air button with your thumb, and then it'll come in and out using this side as well. So it's doable.
So you have Cajun tunes in minor keys as well?
Oh yeah, there's some beautiful ones. There's a gorgeous one called Don and Wat Pauline, which is real pretty. Have you ever seen it? I don't know. You might have seen it. I think it might be called Into the Electric Mist, with Tommy Lee Jones as a detective for Dave Robichaud.
Okay.
There's Cajun music in that, and a few of those tunes are brilliant, and they're in minor keys. So it's got a Cajun soundtrack. I recommend that film. It's great. It's really
Okay,
good.
I don't want to take up too much time, but I just want
Alright.
to mention as well those 3-hole splits from a blues player who's used to doing 2 and 3-hole octaves.
Yes.
They are. I've struggled with them.
You get used to
Any
it.
hits?
Yeah, you
Any
get
hints?
used to it. Yeah.
Just practice.
The hint is practice.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me that. By the way, I'm reading comments as well as speaking to you, and thank you for those nice comments I've just seen on the screen. Thank you. And yeah, I can do a beginner's diatonic as well, to whoever asked that. I just saw it fly by as we were talking. It's practice. Somebody asked me on Wednesday, because I run Cardiff Harmonica Club. I got 15 people there, and we're doing beginner's blues at the moment. And one of them's going, well, how long will it take me to learn this? I said, well, how often do you practice? And that's the answer, isn't it? You got to give it a bit of practice, and never kick yourself in the pants for not doing it the way you want to do it, because if you persevere, you'll get there. You'll get where you want to be just by being happy with the music and perseverance. I think that's the best hint I can give you. Also, listen to a lot of music. There's a guy called Jerry DeVilliers, and he's got something from SPAH on YouTube, and that is well worth listening to, because he's speaking to the guy, and then he's sort of talking about it, and then he's playing. So my brother brought some records back from when he was in America, like Cajun and blues and stuff, and I thought, how do I do that? And I just listened to it a lot, and I found that I had the wrong accordion, because I was playing harmonica and accordion. I had the wrong accordion, so I had to get the right accordion, because Cajun accordions are tuned slightly different. They flatten some of the notes, and it didn't sound right to me. So you find these things as you go along. You get the right equipment, you listen to it a lot, and you pick it up, and you're able to work it out by ear. A lot of what I learned is by ear. I used to be in a pipe and drum band. I learned to play the bagpipes by ear. They never gave us any music. They never gave us any tabs. We used to copy the pipe major. You'd sit there and we'd all copy him. So your ears are really important, and enjoyment of music. So
thank you, Aidan, for the comprehensive answer. I'm going to get out of the way and let somebody else.
Thanks, Kev. Appreciate
Anyone
it.
else?
And yeah, we got a question from Tor, but just before we go to Tor, am I right in thinking, well, I know I'm right in thinking because she told me this, the diatonic harmonica is tuned the same as the Cajun accordion, is that right?
Yeah, apart from they slightly flatten two of the buttons on the, but it's very, very similar, and that's why I tend to go for these rather than the double row ones, because I can bend it slightly to make it sound a bit more like the real deal,
Brilliant. Great stuff.
Also,
yeah,
Aidan, if you still do it, I'm fairly certain you do, but do you still do your one-to-one tuitions?
Yeah, I still do them, yeah.
Yeah, if we could have details of that, then if anyone like Kev and all the rest of them want more lessons with you, maybe they could approach you directly.
Yeah, and I think Andrew wants to ask me a question as well, don't you, Andrew?
Yes,
right?
Tor's got a question for you first, if that's okay, and then we'll go on. But perhaps you could put your we'll get all Aidan's information up on the website alongside this video as well.
I will send it, and
Thank you.
I do any level, any sort of music, and I'm just happy to do that. No problem.
Great stuff. So Tor, would you like to unmute and ask your question?
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Well, I should maybe say that I am actually a chromatic player as a grown-up. But I like to listen to diatonic, and I used to play it as a kid.
Yes.
And actually, always I was learning by ear, by the way. And I learned most of these, what shall I call, tricks, which you have performed. And I thank you very much for a very good
You're very welcome. You're very welcome.
Terrible lesson. I have, for instance, learned to vamp. Is that what you call it? Vamp?
Yes.
And the only thing I didn't learn was to bend.
Right.
When I was a kid, I never heard about it, And as a grown-up, I haven't tried it yet. But could you give me 2 words about how and where to start if I should learn bending? I know we haven't touched it at all, but
yeah. Well, we've done a bit of scooping, and I think scooping is a start to a bend. But I used to tell people that if you do it really good, you'll get a school of whales coming down the road towards you. So what I did was I started on 1 because I think 1's the easiest one, and I'll just say how I did it to show people. I'd say, right, blow 1, and a lot of the time they'll blow a chord, they'll go, and I go, right, that bag that you had to put your sports gear in, your duffel bag, when you pulled a drawstring, it went like that, and I say, do that with your lip, and they'll go, get 1 note, yeah? So I'll say, right, blow that, and then breathe in on that, and then I'll say, do it the other way around, so they go, and then I'll say, right, blow it, until they're comfortable, and then I'll say, right, when you breathe in, don't try and breathe in twice, pull the note long, and then narrow your lips a bit further, and pull your tongue back, and pull your jaw back, and and down, and this is what you'll get. It's like a mystery movie or something, yeah? And then if you can do that on one, you know, you want to give it a go now with me? Do you want to give it a go? Go
I
on,
could try
give
that time.
give it a go.
Which hole?
So
Which
try hole one. Give it a blow for a start. Now breathe in. Yeah, now breathe in on it, yeah? Yeah, breathe in. Right, now, narrow your lip as you breathe in and pull your tongue backward and see what will happen. Yeah, I can hear that going. Who else can hear that going?
Yeah, definitely.
The work here is done.
Yeah. Well done, Tor.
Give him a round of applause.
Yeah.
Well done, Tor. You do realise now, Tor, you owe him £20.
No, he doesn't. Right, Andrew's waving at me.
Yeah, go for it, Andrew.
Get Andrew in.
Well, thank you very much.
Thanks, Tor.
All it is, Aidan, first of all, brilliant presentation. I love that.
You're welcome.
I've learned an awful lot. Secondly, very briefly, can you use a tremolo harp to do Cajun? Because it seems close to an accordion.
Yeah, you can do it. I like playing. Occasionally, I do a tremolo. I don't use them that much, but I do. Yes, you can do it. It's not a problem at all. But I just, as I say, I just prefer these because I've always played these. I just I find them easy because I put those little bluesy bends in to make it sound rather swampy, and I like, you know, sort of. It just sounds more like a swampy sort of feel when you mix it with the little tunes, and it just gives it a certain character. So, but you could, yeah.
And Aidan, is that a swampy C you're using?
It is. I'm playing in G on a swampy C setting position, so yeah, it's cool. But as I say, I use these for. We do a lot of Cajun clubs, me and Martin, and you know, whichever fiddler is available, and it just sounds great because with a Cajun fiddle, they tune down a full tone, and it just sounds like, you know, wonderful when you've got a harmonica and a fiddle, a tuned down fiddle playing with that. Or with the squeeze box, it just gives it a totally great dimension. It's wonderful. Yeah, come and see us play one day. Yeah.
Thanks, you've opened my eyes. Thanks a mil, Aidan. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Anyone else want to ask me anything?
No.
Anyone else?
Any more for any more?
Will you come back?
Yeah. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you, Aidan.
I want to say this has been a great session.
Thank you.
Brilliant session, Aidan.
I want to say it's been a great session as this one.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, very good.
Susie and I will be hosting the open mic next week. Hopefully you'll join us there. And of course, for the next session, the Saturday session workshops, if this gets popular, you know, then who knows, next year we may do it every month, but it's just every other month at the moment. Aidan, thank you so much for joining Susie and I and doing this workshop.
Thank you.
Would you be able to, can I prevail on you to play us out with the tune?
Great stuff.
Yeah, no problemo. Let's have a think what I can play for you.
Maybe something in the Zydeco style, or?
Yeah, I can do that. Let me get my guitar on, because that'd
great
be
stuff.
Cool, wouldn't it?
Thank you guys, and thank you.
Always.
We'll
Thanks,
see you next week. And we'll thanks
for all your thank you comments as well. I can see them as I'm talking to people. It's really good of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Aidan.
Bye-bye. Ta-ra.
Thanks, guys. We'll hopefully see you next week.
Thanks,
Just
everyone.
remember,
See you next week.
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Get out. Keep on harping. Ta-ra.
Yeah, great.